Poof!
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Sky and today we will be playing But You Seem Fine by K-Jam. Let's start a new game and let's see what this is all about. Use headphones for the best audio experience, okay? Visual novel is based on a true story, but is not meant to be a substitute for professional help, nor reflect the range of experiences surrounding invisible illnesses. Thank you. So yeah, this is a game based around invisible illnesses such as depression, anxiety. Oh, okay, so we have sound. This is the main character, Ray. So this isn't fair. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Why can't I find some answers? Uh, Probably the game is a lot slower because I decided to put it in full screen and my computer it can still not handle that. Oh, here we go. Uh, you awaken in your bedroom. The sun is shining through the window. It's just another Monday. But yeah, in in that case, basically there's still no update in terms of the computer. I wish there were a little slider for the volume. That would be amazing. I don't want to fast forward through anything. Apparently, it has multiple endings, 4 if I remember correctly. So let's just get right to it. Hopefully, I can fix the audio section. And actually, let me just see if I can fix it now. Okay, so just reducing a little bit of the audio so it's easier to manage. I hope it's not too much. I hope I struck a kind of balance with the sound and my voice. Please, for the love of God, please. Okay. Anyways, your computer is sitting beside you in the bed, still open to the pause screen from the night before. Okay. You must have fallen asleep watching the new season of Super Space Sailors, a documentary on genes and cloning. A performance by Yo-Yo Ma. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna go with the one that fancies me the most, which is gonna be the gene and cloning. Whilst it was interesting to watch, you still aren't sure why you got problem 7 on the last quiz wrong. You better talk to Mr. Jefferson after class sometime this week. Is the problem 7 related to genes and cloning? Because if it is, then it's a weird ass class, just saying. You rub some of the sleep from your eyes, and you head downstairs before you're even late. You're even later than you already are. My grammar is on point today, just immaculate. Oh hey mom. Morning sweetie, if you had slept any longer I would have left you to fend for yourself. Damn. But since you have some time to spare before heading off to work, what would you... Oh, since I have some time to spare before heading off to work, what would you like for breakfast? Bacon and eggs, Johnny pancakes, or fried rice? I want some... You want what now? I just realized it didn't say Johnny Pancakes, it just said Johnny Cakes. Johnny Cakes. They were the staple of the early American breakfast. The founding fathers ate them. Fried cornmeal in a cast iron skillet was how they started their day, so why can't I, right? uh, just your mom asks you for something and you just go for the most outlandish thing that you can think of. Mom does not look amused. No, she does not. Right, well, we don't have that, but I do have some French toast. Alright, at least Le Fayette would be proud. Give me French toast or give me God damn it. Already starting at give me French toast or give me the Excuse me? Ray Kim, aren't you forgetting something? Please, would you give me the absolute honor of preparing me breakfast, dearest mother? Oh no. Okay, save the dramatic language for the theater, but thank you. This game, even though it's it did say it was based on a true story, and it is about invisible illnesses. But it's already scoring some brownie points for me for the story writing. While mom prepares breakfast, you pack your lunch for the day. And I forgot to do my own voice. Looks like the only option is leftover tikka malasala. I'm getting deja vu of free shavakadu. Tikka masala. Damn it. You know what? Let's go with yum. I never had tikka masala, so you can at least let me off with that little gaff. Just please. Mom sets your French toast on the table, and you shovel it down before heading out the door for school. Hi, Mom. Okay. You arrive at school at record time. It was breakfast that made the difference. Mom always was a killer chef, and French toast has never failed you. Is it because of the anime French toast running thing? Is this why we arrive faster? You're lost in thought and head towards your locker when you spot the one, the only. Daddy! Yo, Daddy, what do you think of the last AOT episode? You start to ask if she has seen the latest episode, but should I just sneeze? Achoo! Sorry. I hope I'm not coming down with anything. Hey, I love you, but keep your distance, okay? I've got creative writing this afternoon, and I don't. If I don't finish my draft by Friday, my teacher's gonna behead me. Already with the social distancing, okay? How medieval? Are you sure you don't want a big ol' hug? Sadie screeches and sprints down the hall, much to the annoyance of the hall monitor nearby. You chuckle to yourself and head into your first class of the day. Good old Sadie. Or Sadie. Home sweet home. Mom and Dad won't be back from work for a couple of hours, and there's a lot to get done. So, honestly, if it was me, honestly, I want to get the homework done, like get it out of the way first thing, then I can do whatever. Maintaining good marks does not come without effort. You think you heard someone say that at some point. Regardless, you dive headfirst into the worksheet from today. I'm still at lost if what should I do? If I'm playing soccer, I'm gonna be a little bit social, but the cello. If these posters give me something to go by, is that I'm aiming for success, so I'm gonna practice my cello. You are feeling. I go between voices so much, I don't know which voices I'm supposed to do, but let's put a rather artistic file to this. You are feeling artistic and musical. Plus, the swan from Carnival of the Animals has been stuck in your head since you heard it last in class. You pick up your bow and start playing. Marvelous. Okay, so do I need to do like, is it like because I have 3 different actions I can do it at 3 different actions, or because I need to do all of them in one single play? Because if I can just do 3 actions, I'm gonna do some more homework, just saying. Believe me, I was not this studious at school, but I do believe that is surprisingly, yeah. Surprisingly, you finish your worksheet in record time. You feel extra productive and decide to make some flashcards for your upcoming vocabulary quiz. Nothing like being prepared, right? Exactly. Even though I never did this. I never studied for school. That was the one thing. Yeah, it was just 3 actions, apparently. Like with my school life, I try to always pay attention in class and do my homework. But when I try to study anything, it went awful. It went worse than if I were just paying attention to class. And I was still paying attention to class, but the studying itself just jumbled my brain because I wasn't used to it, so I kind of just dropped that entirely. But yeah, this would be what I would do if I would have the brain capacity to do so. Okay, that's enough for one day. Your throat is starting to feel a little bit scratchy. Mine was feeling scratchy yesterday, that's why I didn't record. Maybe it's allergies? Either way, you better get some rest. You shuffle into your bed and call it a night. Wait, so you don't even eat dinner or anything? Yeah. You wake up the next morning, totally unable to breathe. That is, until you open your mouth. Your nose is completely congested, and you can barely make a croaking noise without your throat burning. I'm sick. This blows. Honestly, if I knew that the main character of the game would be sick beforehand, I would have recorded this yesterday just to make it sound more realistic. Now it just sounds like I'm just whispering. Yeah, I'm sick. This blows. If I'm sick, the last thing that I want to do is more homework. Honestly, sleep. But yeah, in case of just, I'm just playing this as if it was myself, because I think that's what most people would do. if they were doing a playthrough of something, they would play it as if the main character represented themselves. So, anyways, you let your eyelids close as you drift in and out of consciousness. You fall back to sleep. Your eyelids get heavier and heavier. Slowly, you drift off. Because if you're sick, it's better if you just get some rest. Turns out this cold hit you harder than normal, and recovering is taking longer than you're used to. You miss a full week of school while you're sick in bed, battling fever, congesting, and throat pain. That is gonna be a massive hit. Not only to your health, it is a massive hit, but to school life as well. If you have tests coming and everything, like I was preparing flashcards, like that is gonna be a week that you need to catch up on. You finally feel well enough to come back to school. You're excited to be back in the swing of things. You miss orchestra, you miss drama club, and most of all, you miss your friends. Speaking of the devil, there's Sadie. Be dramatic, talk, schoolwork, brush off. Why should I brush off my friends? This shouldn't even be an option, unless I would try to be a total asshole. Talking about schoolwork, yeah, it's important, but be dramatic. It's the first time that you see them in a fucking week. Sadie, my friend, my one and only. I never thought I'd see your face after touching the cold nightmare of death. Okay, Your Majesty, I know you're just kidding, but I seriously thought you died. Where have you been? Yeah. To explain how the last week of your life has been spent battling sickness in your bed, your only contact with the outside world when your mom would come and give you medicine and soup. Yikes. But you aren't still contagious, right? Sadie, I don't know if Sadie is concerned about my illness, or if she might be... I was gonna say if she might be a germaphobe, but I doubt it. No way, I haven't felt sick since Friday. I tried to text you, but I kinda lost my phone on a wad of tissues. Right, that's disgusting. But, you're feeling better? Yeah, although... What? Nothing, I just wish I wasn't so tired. You go to the rest of the classes of the day, eager to catch up on schoolwork. Yeah, because we have a lot to catch up on. School's over. What do? Chamber, orchestra, drama club, or working on writing with Sadie. Okay, I love all of these things. Or should I say, the character that I'm portraying as loves all of these things. But before class activities, even if I love, you know what, anime club or something, I would probably spend time with my friends. So work on writing with Sadie, because we need more time with Sadie. She had not enough screen time yet. And I guess she won't have screen time because her screen is black. You travel the familiar path to Sadie's house and set up shop with her at her dining table. not sure if... Oh, here it is. Hey, Sadie. Okay. You realize if we wanted to, we could register to become an official club with the school. Why would we want to do that? Well, we could use the classroom for meetings and maybe even get some money for snacks. Ray has big brain energy. Excuse me? What's wrong with my lovely home? And we have snacks right here. I mean, still, I wouldn't have to walk to your house and we'd get money, not just for snacks. Also, I'm just seeing the picture in the background. It's just her mom, daddy, and the dogs. So I'm pretty sure the developers didn't put that in just to fill up space. I think the dad is missing in the family. Stale Cheetos do not count. Okay. Never really was a fan of Cheetos. Crucify me in the comments if you want to, but never really was a fan of Cheetos anyway, so eh. Whatever. More for me. Now, help me come up with a name for this new character in my story. She's a teenager princess who is also an assassin, and her mark is her betrothed. And her mark is her betrothed prince. Oh, mark is an assassination target. Okay. I was getting confused. Like, what do you mean by mark? I thought your story was about space ninjas. Oh, so it's just still in very early development stage, huh? It is. Excuse me? Wait. This is why there's the text log. So, let me get this straight. The story is about a teenage princess who is an assassin and wants to kill her prince, but in space, and she's a ninja assassin. Ambitious to say the least. Alright, how about Ray, Cassie, and Alexander Hamilton. I'm gonna say Casey. I don't want to be self-insert in the story, and I can't pick Alexander Hamilton, so Casey. Aw, cute. Okay. I like how I'm not even trying to do different voices for these two. Just the same voice. The two of you laugh and work out your stories until it's late and you are both tired. You thank Sadie's parents. So wait, she does have both parents, right? You thank Sadie's parents? Or is it just worded that way? I think it's worded that way on purpose. I don't know. It's just speculation at this point. And head back home, since when did you get exhausted so easily? Oh. I think I know which direction this might be taking. When you wake up the next morning, you're stuffy, have a fever, and an incredible headache. How are you sick again? It just got better, but it looks like the sickness is back for round 2. I would give anything to stay in bed longer. There's a knock on your door. After a short pause, Mom comes in. I know you're not still in bed. It's nearly time for me to go to work. Please. Ray? Not looking so hot. I think I'm looking very hot. You know, feverishly hot. Just saying. I don't feel 100% better. Looks like that cold decided to stick around a little longer. Stay home, I'll call the school and get you excuse. It's better to sleep and let this bug pass. You want to argue. You have a ton of schoolwork and a million club responsibilities. But the thought of going back to sleep is just too tempting. I mean, I can feel you on that one. I just want to sleep all day, every day. It makes me feel bad sometimes, but sometimes it's just what I feel like doing. Thanks, Mom. Mom smiles back and heads into the hallway. He falls asleep once more. See how long I have to deal with this. Morning again. The sun streams through the window, forcing you to shield your eyes. I'm heading off to work, but I'll leave some medicine on the nightstand. Feel better, sweetie. You grumble in response and fall back asleep. She leaves. Oh my god, look at my eyelids. You wake up, groggy and tired. You're very disoriented. You have no idea much time has passed or how long you have been asleep. Seems late. Check your phone, call for your mom, or go to the bathroom. Honestly, I want if this was who am I kidding? If this was any other game, I would still take my time to pick the answers. But seeing like this is a very weird situation that I put myself in, like it looked like it's the middle of the night, and if I call my mom, she's probably gonna be exhausted the next day for work. I could check my phone to see what time it is, but I could get entangled in all of the messages in case somebody was trying to text me. And I could just go to the bathroom, I guess, and just go back to sleep. That would be the most reasonable thing. I don't even know if I've been eating. It's the thing, like, my mom mentioned that she left some medicine. But I also did say at school that my mom would bring me food. So I think I'm just gonna go to the bathroom on this one. Look at yourself in the mirror. There are huge bags under your eyes. Honestly, I'm gonna pick what resonates with me more. Closer. You look closer at your reflection. I always look. If I always look this tired, this exhausted. Did I always have these dark circles under my eyes like bruises? Honestly, at this point, at this point, there's no need for me to do a voice. There's no need for me to do a kind of high voice, low voice, unless it's the narrator, obviously. But for Ray, it I just need to be myself. That's at this point, Ray is me to a certain extent. What Ray is going through is the same thing that I go through, like just going to the bathroom, looking at the mirror, just seeing the bags under my eyes that look like I just got punched. Just even if I got a whole day of sleep, it would still look like that. Yeah, let's go. You frown and head downstairs. I guess mom's awake. Stomach is grumbling. You're not quite sure when you last ate, so I wasn't eating after all. Okay. Sit down. Okay. We have some leftovers from dinner. Would you like me to reheat them? You nod. Mom pulls out a plate and uncovers it before popping it in the microwave. You stare blankly in the distance. Mom places the plate in front of you, then leans against the counter, watching you as you start to eat. He's clearly concerned. Thank you. You finished your food and get up to leave the table, but before you go, you glance back around. I love you. You head back upstairs and go back to bed. You wake up again. Some time has passed, but you don't know how much. I can't even get up anymore. You roll your body to the edge of the bed, but anything more is just not possible. Waking up again, you realize you're no less tired than you were. That when you were last slept. You have no clue how long you've been asleep. Still can't get up. So I go back to sleep. You rub some of the sleep from your eyes. Mom is looking at you, worried. You frown. We're going to the doctor, sweetie. It's time to get up. You grumble. She helps you get dressed and you stumble into the car. You and your mom are at the doctor's office, here to see your primary care physician, Dr. Harris. What brings you in today? Mom explains. The getting sick, the endless sleeping, the suddenness of it all. Well, I'll do some checkups and see if anything's wrong. He has you open your mouth, say ah. He checks your eyes, your ears, your nose. He pulls out his stethoscope and listens to your heart. He listens to you cough, he listens to you breathe. He takes your temperature. He tests your reflexes, he takes your blood pressure. Honestly, even doing the doctor's voice prior felt sour in a way. Because I'm trying to have different voices for different people, but at the same time, this just doesn't seem the place to do voices. At least not the voices that I'm trying to do. Like the, okay, I'll check your temperature. Like, that doesn't... It seems unrealistic and it seems so... backhand... It seems like a backhanded slap. I don't know, it's just... I like how I came into this video trying to show that I myself am doing better, that I am trying to do these videos with more emphasis, with a little more energy. And then I decided to pick a game that deals with invincible illnesses, and that energy in itself is kind of rendered useless because it's not the atmosphere that's supposed to be. Just keep going on. He sits back. Well, nothing seems to be wrong. You've shaken the bug completely. But you're in high school, aren't you? You're 14. Maybe this has something to do with your hormones. Or maybe you're just depressed. You stare blankly. Mom frowns. She's not just depressed. There's something wrong. I've never seen her like this before. I know what she's normally like, and something's not right. He sighs and scribbles something on the pad of paper. He rips off 2 sheets. Here. Prescriptions. One for birth control, one for antidepressants. Maybe she'll get better. Did he seriously not believe me? I'm your mother. I know what I'm talking about. The nerve of that man. Say nothing, choosing to stare out the window. We're going to have to look somewhere else. You mumble in agreement and nod off to sleep. Because at this point you lack the energy. Chapter 2. Honestly, I have no idea how long. Alarm again. Honestly, I don't want to cut anything out because that's the way that I roll. I want to show every single piece of the game itself. Even though that I advise people to play the game by themselves, I still want to showcase everything that the game has to offer. So maybe instead of just doing multiple playthroughs to get all 4 endings, I'll just get 1 ending. And I'll leave the rest of it for all of you to experience. You blink slowly and start to wake up. You don't know how long it's been since you first got sick, but your day seems endless now. Check the time or look at your phone. To me, it would be the same thing. I would look at my phone to check the time. You roll over and stare at your clock. You've been sleeping for 16 hours? Why do I feel so exhausted? Even if I want to get up. You wish you could, but even thinking about getting up is too much effort. Still feels like you've been hit by a truck. Nothing would feel better than slipping back into a temporary coma. Even my words seem to be missing me today. You pull your covers back up to your chin and let yourself doze off. Ray, Ray, wake up. You wake up suddenly to the sound of your mom's voice. She's shaking you by the shoulders and trying to get you up and out of bed. Ray, we're going to be late to the doctor's. Did you not see my text message? Honestly, this. You shoot her an apathetic look. Can you calm down? Who cares if the stupid doctor has to wait anyways? Well, I wasn't aware that I raised a daughter with such disdain for acting respectfully. Funny. When you decide to grace us with all of your presents, I will be in the car. You roll your eyes and pull on a hoodie, begrudgingly following after her. I mean, considering that I didn't know about the doctor's visit, it's understanding that I was a little bit upset. You fidget uneasily as the two of you wait for the doctor to appear. Mom says he's an ENT doctor, but you're not sure what that stands for. I don't either, so. Based on a large picture of a cross-section of the head on the wall, you guess it stands for ear, nose, and throat. Mom got a referral from a primary care physician after he found out you had been congested and sick a couple times. I don't know why you're even here. 10 more minutes go by. Hello, I'm Dr. Clark. Mom goes over the same spiel she gave Dr. Harris. He listens and nods occasionally as he inspects you for normal checkup procedures. Well, her ears and throat look fine. I'll need to take a closer look up her nose. He pulls out a long, thin device. It looks like a stick. He says it's a camera, and to your great discomfort, he shoves it up your nose. Nope, not seeing anything here. The nose. He moves the stick around. It hurts a little, but it's mostly just weird. He leans back in his chair, finally finished. You know what I think? I think she's a teenager. She had a cold, and now she's milking it for all she can. Her chart says she's on antidepressants already, so there's not much else that I can do. Look, kid, you just have to suck it up and go to school, even if you're sick. You know, when I was a kid, I got chickenpox, and I still went to school. You know what? I'm gonna pause it right here. I love this game so far. Right now, I just got shivers. I love this game so far. And because the creator did say it is based on a real story. And that is why it resonates so much with people who have the same kind of afflictions. Because you're not feeling well and people think you're bullshitting them. And yes, there are cases where people are bullshitting just to get out of something they don't want to do. But it's not something that should be treated lightly. To say to somebody, to a teenager, she's 14 no less, to say to a teenager, suck it up and go to school even if you're sick, that should not be something a doctor should recommend. And then he goes on, he goes further and beyond, and goes with the whole, when I was your age, things were not like this. And it's one of the conversations that I've heard multiple times, and it pisses me the fuck off because it's not the 1990s, it's not the 1980s. I don't know what time, what goddamn time you were raised, but times change and so does illnesses. That's why people are still looking for cures, still looking for solutions for illnesses that have been there for years. So don't say that, oh, I got the chicken pox and I still went to school. You were just a hazard for everybody else in that school. It's something, this is something that a lot of people really want to fight against. The fact that they downplay your illness. Okay, I wish I had a webcam right now because my hand right now is literally shaking. I don't know if it's nervousness or not, or if it's just because I'm going on a spiel, but it is it is uh it is shaking. I can't really stop it unless I put like my hand down or something. But the thing is, this is not how you should go about it. It's like telling somebody who just, for example, fell down and scraped their knees, just suck it up and walk away. Or walk it off, basically. I could go all day, all fucking day, with more conversations about this. How about the difference between physical and invisible illnesses? God damn it. How about all the things that, all the different kind of stereotypes they have, all the different kind of treatments they have, the goddamn way people treat themselves, or the way society sees it. I could go all day with this. But I know that's not what you're here for. You're here to watch me play a game. And I'm gonna do that. If at a later day, any of you want to hear one of that spiels, believe me, I will go off. And I will say everything that I have to say. Because one thing that I'm grateful of is even though I started, I'm just basically starting on YouTube, even though I haven't uploaded in multiple months. I have a platform where I can be heard, and I have a voice that has things that needs to be heard, that need to be heard. And that's why I decided to be on YouTube. I wanted to entertain people, to make their day be less miserable, to make them forget about their problems for a while, so they could have a giggle, so they could have something to look forward to. I know I'm not there yet, but I'm gonna keep trying until I get there. But I also want to use this platform as a way of say what's on my mind and talk about the multiple injustices I've seen or felt throughout my life. Enough of my spiel. Continue on. He rambles on for a bit as he zones out. Mom stares at him in silence, but you tell that she's carefully holding back her words. When he finishes his lecture, she calmly stands and walks out of the room. You shuffle out after her. She You make a brief stop in the waiting room while Mom takes care of the cafe. Is that how you say it, cafe? Copay? Okay. Then you both head home, none the wiser than when you came. Several days later, I honestly wanted my mom to talk to me about that situation, like what she thought of that doctor in specific. Because she was very vocal with the first doctor, but the second one, she didn't even give him the light of day. It's the weekend after your appointment. You're resting in bed when your phone vibrates. It's a text from Sadie. Stating, "Dude, we start new projects in art class tomorrow. What's something awesome you could put on your wall?" That's so sweet. Plus, you'd be lying if you said you haven't been asking for some art from her for a while. Super Space Sailors fan art, Victorian portrait, or field of flowers. One thing that I've noticed across the game is, when there's the get up and sleep option, the get up option has a slash through it because you obviously can't do that action, even though it is quote unquote possible. I also noticed that a couple of these will light up purple, but some will stay white. Maybe it's because I didn't say that I watched Super Space Sailors at the beginning of the game. But regardless, I'm gonna go with a field of flowers. You hit send, and before you know it, there's a response. "You got it, Captain. Just make sure you get back to school at some point to pick it up." Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later if you have anything to say about it. You hear Mom calling you from the kitchen. You pocket your cell phone and get out of bed. "Coming." Ah, look who came when called. Yeah, about that. What could you possibly want this early on a Saturday? Ray, it's 2 p.m. Oh. I need to bring a dish to the potluck at work tomorrow. Since you've spent the last few days in your room, I figure you might want to help. I don't know, I'm still tired, Mom. Mom sighs heavily. Oh, no. No! Okay. No. No! Really? Okay, okay. So, apparently, my Firefox decided to crash. Great. Unfortunately, our progress is now completely gone. So what I'll do is do a cut right here. Do every single of the same. I'm gonna do all of the same kind of options that I did on basically the first playthrough or my only playthrough, and continue from there. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, we are officially we're officially sick. We're officially back to the part where we were, and while on my adventure to get back to where we were, I found a couple of things. Uh, Probably most of you won't uh, you'll remember. I was complaining about the audio. There was no slider in the game. Well, there is in the pause menu, as well as the save game button. So yeah, that is my mistake. Yeah, don't worry, I already saved it on this point. So if it crashes again, I will be here. We will be here. Anyways, let's continue. Mom sighs heavily. You sighed so heavily last time that you crashed the game. Please don't do it again. Alright, just help me choose something people will actually eat. Quinoa salad, cucumber sandwiches, and green bean casserole. Cucumber sandwiches sound awful. Green bean casserole? I'm gonna go with quinoa salad. I don't know. All of these to the potluck? Just because it's a potluck, I'm gonna go with a casserole. Even though I don't know if this is gonna be any good. What do you mean you gave me no choice of what people will actually eat? Ray, I said what people that will actually eat. Green bean casserole is great. You get to trick everyone into thinking it's healthy by putting a vegetable in the title. What the lady wants, the lady gets. Hey, maybe you could get the prep the rest of the ingredients while I run to the store and grab onions. Sure, and while I'm at it, I'll give you $1 million. It was worth a shot. Yuan giggle as she turns back to the fridge. It's a little wholesome moment. A little deviation of all the depression. There are some moments like that. And yes, I did play the game a little without being in full screen, and the frame rates are a lot better. Just saying. So I do apologize that the game looks a little bit laggy. That's because it is not supposed to be in this kind of resolution. Again, my bad. Do I'm gonna do better next time. Anyways, You and your mom have another. You and your mom have another doctor's appointment. This whole process is starting to seem like a cycle of missing school and getting nowhere. But you guess finally an answer is worth it. Apparently, there's a chance that this whole energy issue is a problem with your heart, so you're going to see a cardiologist today. The doctor listens to your heartbeat and your breath. Seems alright, but let's do a cardiogram and a heart ultrasound just to make sure. I mean, the first doctor already ruled out having any kind of heart problems, but he wasn't a cardiologist, but still. You lie down on the table. The tech attaches 20 different electrodes to your heart and your chest for the cardiogram. You lie there and you feel like a potato battery. So basically, if you do a electrocardiogram, you feel like my computer. Yeah, good to know. After a few minutes, you're ushered into another room for an ultrasound. Take your shirt off, and the tech pushes down on your chest with a device covered with cold gel. Oh, I know what those are, and I do not like those. She keeps looking for different angles, and it hurts your ribs. You wince at the pressure and squeeze your eyes shut, trying to go somewhere else in your mind. You see your heart show up in the black and white monitor. It seems small. The nurse examines it. Well, you have a teeny tiny heart murmur, but it's really small. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Definitely not the issue here. Great, another dead end. A heart murmur? What is that? Is this just like a missing palpitation or something? I don't know. Your phone lights up. There's a reminder in your calendar. Find monologue for fall play auditions. Damn, you really want to try out for the lead, but you haven't had the time or energy to prepare anything. Maybe you'll feel better by the next week and can find something in time. There's also a text from Sadie. Sadie, why do I always say Sadie? You, me, Super Space Sailors Marathon this weekend. We can finish the whole season if we watch nonstop for 24 hours. That is me to a T! If it's with anime. If it's with anime, and if you want to have some anime sessions with me, you'll know that rule of thumb number one that most people might not like. We watched the intro and the outro of the first episode and skipped all the others, unless there's a new intro outro kind of thing, simply to save on time. Second of all, we will watch a whole goddamn season in a day. 2 seasons if needed. But yeah, anyways. That would be so much fun, but you know that you don't have the energy to get to Sadie's place, let alone stay with her for hours on end. Uh, ignore. I'm not gonna ignore. Rain check. Rain check. Sads. I've got so much to catch up. Catch up on this weekend. I think it's supposed to be Sadie's instead of Sads. So yeah, I'm not gonna ignore her. I'm gonna rain check, even though I don't know what that is. You send the text and tuck your phone away, staring out the car window. These doctor appointments are wearing you down. You're not sure if it's even worth it anymore, but you still wish you had an answer. You keep searching. Yes, or no? Again, to me, I don't. A lot of people uh deal with illnesses differently, especially if there's as complex as something as anxiety or depression. And do you know that I know there are more, but I only kind of refer to anxiety and depression because those are the two that I can actually have some sort of understanding because I'm going through them. So that is why I don't go along with others as PTSD or anything in my examples. So with me, in my case, uh, this is gonna be this is probably gonna be over like 2 hours. I don't at this point. What's done, it's done. But might as well share a little bit. In my case, I went to different therapists. I went to my family doctor. He told me it could be depression and anxiety. And so I went to a therapist and decided to start my treatment that way. Uh, it was very slow at the beginning, and I was mostly a husk when I came in. But a couple of, not a couple, it was many sessions and was 1 hour sessions basically. We had a two sessions each month, if I remember correctly, and it went on for a couple of years. And I did generally feel a lot better than when I did came to the office for the first time. But I was nowhere near any place to consider myself uh functional, so to speak. I even tried out to go to a hospital day center, so to see how it was and to see if it could put some energy into me. But all it did was make me more depressed because it felt like I was being treated like a child in a room full of adults. Uh, Even with the activities, it was just simple kind of activities, and once I was done with them, they wouldn't even allow me to do my own thing, which at the time was either just writing or just trying to draw something. So that only lasted a day. Eventually, I realized that the uh, therapist that I was seeing, was producing some sort of results, but it was very minuscule. I did end up going to college. I lasted a couple of weeks before my. I don't know if I would even call it the depression at that point. I just, my mind just shut off. And so I had to drop out of it. And eventually I found a new therapist uh, that decided to, that she saw that I was in a good path, but we needed to speed the process up. And because of now all of this COVID thing and the regulations of staying at home, uh, well, I did went to visit once while the COVID was still in place, but we didn't, there was no restriction in terms of traveling. But now there's restrictions, so there's nothing that I can do to actually visit that person. And so I am stuck in sort of a limbo, thinking, is it actually worth it to keep looking for a treatment to make myself feel better? Or should I just save the effort and money for something else that, because the money isn't coming from my pocket. I don't have a job, I don't have anything. It's coming from my parents' pocket. So it's, to me, this question alone, do you keep searching? Yes or no? Like many other people, it might resonate with them, but to me, it just feels like, should I keep wasting time and money to look for a way to see if I'm able to be happy again? Or do I just give up, be content with what I have, that I'll never achieve much in life, and just hope to wither away? And to a lot of people, that seems like an obvious choice. You just keep searching. But when you're in a situation you when you tell yourself that you gave up on life, there's nothing really that you're looking forward to. It's hard to say really, but I'm going I'm gonna go and searching. Of course, we hit a few dead ends, but someone's gotta come up with something. Sure, there's been some bad apples, but maybe the next doctor will be better. And it's the same thing with me. I jump from doctor to doctor, and until I found somebody that I felt comfortable with, it took a while. You wake up to find yourself in your room. Everything seems kind of peaceful. Weird. Glance at the clock. 8:48? This does not bode well for your 9 o'clock class. Mom? There's no response. You must already left for work. You grab the nearest article of clothing and sprint into the bathroom. Maybe if you hurry, you won't be that late. Arriving in class a solid 25 minutes late, you slam your backpack down and pull out your notes. The rush of adrenaline from booking it to school has got you wired. As fast as you can, you start scribbling down the notes on the whiteboard. Okay, adjectives, noun, modifiers, they describe a noun, adverbs, adjective, verb, or any other verb modifiers. Examples include Ray, Sadie, dude, it's time for PE. Wait, what? Oh god, how did you fall asleep? Yeah, can I borrow your notes? I mean, sure, but you seem like you made good progress already. What? You look at the notes in the notebook in front of you, and sure enough, there are lines, note written on the page, barely legible, but still there. Whoa, did I write these on my sleep? Oh my gosh, that is like a superpower. I would kill to be able to do that. Sorry, but Honestly, when there's a line like this, and right now it's not that serious, I need to do this. Oh my gosh, that is like a superpower. I would kill to be able to do that. Because when there's oh my gosh, you need to go with the Stacy voice. You're not sure how you feel about that statement, but you brush it off. Since you woke up, you're feeling surprisingly refreshed. As weird as the nap was, it gives you enough of a boost to make it through the rest of the school day. Let's see how long that's gonna last, though. I also had a shot of adrenaline, but wore off very, very fast. Here I am. Mom got a recommendation from this holistic doctor, Dr. Worth. Is it worth my time? Alternative medicine as a concept doesn't exactly click in your mind, but at this point you're getting desperate for answers. His office is in a nice part of town, and it was hard to find parking. As you walk in, you notice that the office is covered with embroidered pillows. Yeah, this is something that you reach a point where you're just desperate trying to find something, anything that works. His Harvard degree sits on the wall in a nice frame. Dr. Ward listens to the spiel. He says he has come with some ideas about what might be going wrong and orders some blood tests. Okay. Usually they did the same to me. So you go to the section of the office with the phlebotomist, aka the person who draws blood. I like how I can say words like phlebotomist and things like that, but when I try to say Sadie, I said Sadie. She pulls up your hoodie sleeve, ties your arm off, and disinfects the bent on your arm. She tells you that they need 11 vials of blood today. Oh, okay. 11 vials. I don't know if vials of blood are universal in terms of size, but the most that I had to take out of myself was, I think, 2.5 vials or 3 vials. It was, and and after that, I mean, I am a very very skinny person, very, I won't say malnourished, but I kind of skip a lot of important meals, so that might be it. But still, that was way way too. I know they need the blood vials and everything, but it kind of left me a little bit weak. So a 14-year-old and they need 11 vials of blood. When I did those blood tests, I was around what, 20 something? Like this is this is a this- I have no words. You nod. She slides the needle in, but you don't look. After you get your blood drawn, you meet up with your mom at the front desk. Apparently, the doctor recommends some specialty supplements that he also sells in a house. You watch as the price tag climbs with each additional bottle. You find out, of course, that they're not covered by insurance. Mom pays the exorbitant price, and then the two of you head home. That is always a red flag. When I say when first of all, it's not covered by insurance, but just, oh, you'll need this bottle and this, and it's a very steep price. You know that they're just milking you for everything you got. Reminds me of the whole chili juice kind of thing. You don't know what that is? Don't worry, it's not something sexual. Just watch Dr. Phil on it. You'll you'll know what I mean by home remedies. But this guy at least had a Harvard certificate, or diploma. Sorry. Several days later, he spent the next week donning extra supplements, vitamins, minerals, weird powders he mixed with apple juice, you name it. Is it weird that I had to do all of these? I'm still on vitamins because of my lack of because I don't get enough sun. I'm basically a gremlin, so I need to take vitamins for it. Or not vitamins, supplements basically. Yeah. And the weird powder, I remember I took some for my memory, and apparently it was for my memory, but also did good for my system as a whole. Yeah. Continuing on. Some of them tasted gross, some of them are the size of horse pills, but you swallow all of them. With your previous meds and your new supplement combined, now you have a personalized medication chart taped to the side of the pantry cabinet. When you have more pills than you know, or when you need to have a chart for your medication, that's when you know that maybe you're having too much medication. She, excuse me. Okay, okay. Again, I like to preface this that this was a real story by one of the developers. I have to take 3 pills a day: depression, anxiety, supplements. The depression one is mandatory. The anxiety one is to mellow out the depression one because they're sort of contrasting apparently. So it kind of helps even it out. And the supplements is to make sure that it is not a lack of vitamins that is causing my affliction. This girl, 14, I need to emphasize that, 14 years old, 7 pills in the morning, 5 pills in lunch, and 9 pills at night for a whopping 21 pills a day. 21 pills. If that's not alarming, I don't know what the fuck is. Anyways, exactly. If these pills are supposed to make you feel better, why do you feel so much worse all the time? It's because you're getting over medicated. There's conflicts with the medicines that you're already taking and the ones that you started taking as a homeopathic medicine kind of thing. They're clashing against each other, nulling each other, or making your conditions worse several weeks later. God. Oh, Dr. Dumbass again. You and your you and your mom are back to see Dr. Worth. He pulls out some pieces of paper. They have your name on top, as well as a bunch of tables with all sorts of numbers on it. Do you know what these are? A chart of some kind? Right, it shows the high level of liver enzymes. He drones on a bit about how certain activities have side effects that are evident in many ways. Teenagers often fail to realize that the stress that they place on their bodies has lasting effects. Seeming cool is more important than their health. Wait a minute. Is he gonna is he gonna throw the "you're a smoker" card? Is he dead ass gonna throw the smoker card at me? What? There's no easy way to say this. Your daughter is sniffing glue? Okay, it wasn't. Okay, that one took me for that took me from the left goddamn field. Can't even speak today, or any other day for that matter. Uh, I thought it was the smoker card, but the sniffing glue? Really? Of course, somebody with the name Dr. Worth is not worth my fucking time. Ah, excuse me? I'm not. Honestly, the absurdity of the proposal shakes you more than you are willing to admit. You, Ray Kim, the druggie getting high behind the dumpster after fifth period? Maybe if you planted that rumor in school, you could get some street cred, except for the fact that a total of zero people will believe it. I understand that this is hard to hear, but catching it early is the first step to recovery and intervention. Mom by cuts him off by standing. Thank you for the advice. Good day. Uh-oh, Mom is overemphasizing her sentences. This isn't good. You follow Mom out the door, leaving Dr. Ward shaking his head. I wish I could have slapped you. The silence is palpable. I'm not sniffing. I know. 'Cause I would never. I know. Great. What a complete and utter waste of time. Phone lights up. It's an email from Mr. Jefferson titled, "See me for the exam scores." Crap. The only time Mr. Jefferson asks to see students is when they are failing. This is not a good day to be missing school again. There's also a text from Sadie. Hey, I didn't say Sadie this time. You're not dying, are you? Someone at school started a rumor that you were dying. It was Karen Murphy. Of course, it had to be a Karen. So, of course, I didn't believe her, but still, you would tell me, right? Karen Murphy. If I had the mental energy to be mad, you would be. Ignore, I'm not mad, just sick. Talk soon. I'm not mad. I'm not dying. Damn it. You send the text and tuck the phone away, going back to looking out the window. Well, so much for this doctor being better than the rest. In fact, this doctor may even be the worst. Told you. The only thing these doctors have done are make assumptions about who you are, and a grand total of none of them have helped you in the slightest. Why can't somebody just tell me what's wrong already? You keep searching. I remember how I went into the whole spiel of things, but looking at this in a different perspective, if you weren't looking for a way to make yourself feel like you were before, or even better, then what are you doing? You're giving up. So, yes, we keep searching. Despite everything, the chance of finding out what is wrong is still worth it for now. Also, several weeks later. Also, early on this video, I probably am gonna correct it in post editing, but I did say there were four endings. There's actually five. Again, sorry, I'm just making mistakes all the way today. It's midday. You can tell the minute you open your eyes from the sun shining through the window. You have not been at school any day this week or last week. You don't even want to think about all the makeup assignments that you are going to do when you finally go back, if you ever go back. Sometimes it feels like this sickness will last forever. Rolling out of bed, you see your cello across the room. Been a while since you played, but nothing would make you happier. You grab your back, you grab your backpack and take out a sheet of music your orchestra director sent you. No time like the present. An hour of practice will help you keep up with the rest of them when I get to rehearse again. Will you be able to practice for an hour? You take out your cello from its case and pick up your bow, prepping for the start of the piece. The notes are long and flowing. It feels amazing to play, but before long, your arm position on the shallow weighs you down. Your muscles ache from moving the bow back and forth. Look at a clock. Only 20 minutes in? Never felt tired only this long. You set your cello back in its case and take a break. You don't know why you thought you could actually practice normally, especially given how you've been feeling lately. Several weeks later, another doctor. You're going to see a blood doctor today. You didn't know that there were doctors that just studied blood. Let me just save the game, making sure that nothing bad happens again. You're ready for another run-of-the-mill experience similar to the ones you had before. Ray Kim? You nod, but the doctor doesn't even lift her gaze from the file in her hands. She lifts her eyes over her rectangular glasses to get a better look at you. Hmm. She looks back at the file with her notes, then back at you, then back down. I think it might be Lyme disease. It's pretty rare, but I'm not sure if you've been in the area with ticks, but it's worth checking out. I'll order a blood test. You are almost taken aback by the efficiency of the appointment. She didn't even touch you or come close to get a good look at you. Maybe she was just that good, or just that bad. I mean, with all the previous things that we had to experience, like all the other consultations, uh, you should have a fairly kind of, they should kind of narrow it down to something that can be, they couldn't have narrowed it down to something a lot faster, like this doctor did. Because of all the other kind of experiences and all the medications and no signs of improvement, it could be just one look, seeing what you've been taking, what kind of symptoms you've been having, everything, and just go, maybe it could be this. You don't have the ticks, but we'll do some blood tests regardless. Make sure. That's sufficient. That's because that person has been through many other appointments and doctors to have a repertoire of medical exams before getting that assessment. Because that's not something that you're going to go to your doctor the first time and they're going to say, oh, it's Lyme disease. Uh, did I say Lyme disease? Never mind. Your phone lights up. It's a text from your orchestra conductor. Regretfully, you have been cut from the upcoming recital for not attending enough recitals. You feel tears streaming at your eyes as you put your phone away. There's also a text from Sadie. Hey, hey, and talk. You send a text, tuck your phone away, and stare out the window. Try not to think about how much you wish you could play in that recital. There was a complete bust. Do you keep searching? I am. Some people call me a pessimist. I decide to see myself as a realist. And if it was me, I would probably given up at this point. But they do say hope is the last thing to die. And as long as there's a chance, we'll go for it. You look at mom. Despite everything, she is still your strongest advocate. She might be the only one on your side at all. She's fighting so hard for you to make it that it makes you determined to keep going. Another doctor it is. This is basically my mom. My mom also, the thing that she wants the most several weeks later, the things that sh- the things that she wants the most for me to be okay. And it is, I'm gonna go on another rant on time. My mom is the person that I always go to when there's something bad because that's she's the person that always been there for me. And regardless of mistakes that I have made in the past or things that didn't looked as well, she still tries to support me and tries to see me happy. Even when at times I feel like there might be something more to it, I feel sometimes like I'm being manipulated, but that's just my mind running rampant. But she is basically the only person who I kind of basically always have by my side. When there were school assignments, or basically when parents needed to come to school for some reason or another, she was always the one to go. And when she wasn't, my sisters were the ones who went. And I just noticed that now I have the painting with the flowers. Probably been too distracted to notice that. Um, and so even in my therapist and everything, she was always the one who went there. When I almost went into a when I almost went into an alcoholic coma, she, even though I felt really shitty and felt like I was gonna get in trouble. That was the first time that I saw my mom ever cry, and she didn't she didn't do anything bad to me. She didn't ground me. She was just scared and told me basically to never do anything like that ever again. And I promised her that because somebody who's been supporting me my whole life and I made her cry like that, that was something that I never wanted to see again. But I did see her cry in another occasion, and that was when we were in uh, my therapist, the one that I went for a couple of years, because I was against the idea of going to a therapist because I had bad experiences before. But the therapist that I went to was good to me, and eventually she wanted to talk to the people in my life, aka my mom and my dad. And with my mom ended up crying because all she wanted was for me to be happy. She she knows me for I mean, she knows me for my whole life, and to see somebody that you know for your whole life, not only not only somebody that you see for your whole life, but your own son, to go from happy-go-lucky, smiling and having fun, to being locked up inside the house, not doing anything, just self-loading, is it's depressing. And the fact that she couldn't do much to help with the situation other than get me to the right specialists probably was something that made her feel upset. This video is gonna be a long one, isn't it? Auditions for the school play are tomorrow. You still haven't had much time to prepare, but there are still some monologues you still have memorized from last time. What play do you want to use? Hamilton, Romeo and Juliet, or Antigone? I'm gonna be completely honest. I am not particularly. Uh, I don't know any of the plays. I know by name that they are famous, Hamilton and Romeo and Juliet, but I don't know this one. Romeo and Juliet. I don't want to go with that one because tragedy. Antigone. I don't know what it is, and I don't want to risk it. Hamilton. I know by name only, but I feel like Hamilton is calling me. Nice. Pull out the script and start flipping through it until you find a chunk of text that works for this audition. Then you get to work. Hours later, you lay back on your bed having memorized and practiced your audition to your heart's content. You proudly set your alarm and climb into bed, ready for tomorrow. Next day. Ray, your eyes open to find your chick that your eyes open to find your cheek sitting on your breakfast. Oh, what happened? Well, I'm not an expert, but I believe you fell asleep on your breakfast. You rinse out, you rise out of your chair and wipe some of the breakfast off your face. Mom is watching you carefully. Even walking to the sink tires you out. You lean against the counter and try to rub some of the sleep off your eyes. Honestly, I really don't think you should be going to school today. Hmm, decisions. I know it's your choice. She's right. You know she's right, but it doesn't make it hurt any less. Can barely function this morning. There's no way that you're gonna make it to this afternoon. Okay. Several weeks later, I wonder how Sadie is. We had no idea there were so many types of specialists for doctors. But here you are, and somehow you made it your way to an infectious disease doctor. Mom launches into the same spiel as before. This doctor doesn't even have the decency to talk to your face. She talks over your head directly to Mom, showing her a series of laminated sheets with charts and graphs on them. Rude. Mom noticed your sour expression. So, Ray, what do you think of all this? Dr. Lee, as it says on her coat, turns and gives you an obviously forced smile. Oh, you don't have to worry about the fine details. I'm sure they'll go over your head anyways. That's because you were talking over my head, you condescending bitch. You sit there, taken aback by Dr. taken aback as Dr. Lee turns back to Mom. Excuse me? I may be a kid, but I'm not stupid. Sit there fuming while Mom smiles and nods at the doctor. Dr. Lee thinks you probably have something, but not an infectious disease. Yeah, I could have told you that one, genius. Despite the lack of an infectious disease, she writes you an official doctor note to excuse you for the amount of school you've been missing. The second the appointment is over, you beeline out the door. I mean, if you're gonna see a doctor and try to get help, and if the doctor is completely ignoring you, just don't. Neither of you are happy about the appointment you just had or the money you just spent. Exactly. You look at the note in your hands, an official excuse to be missing class. The note reads Infectious Disease Clinic in bold black letters at the top. It looks intimidating, but you suppose it's effective enough. After missing so much school, you need something to show administration so you don't get expelled. Mom looks at you. Look back at Mom. She squeezes your hand tightly, but her eyes are less bright than they were before. She would never show it, but the constant barrage of doctors is taking a toll on her as well. You can only be treated like a science experiment for so long before you snap. Just seems like no matter how hard you try, there are a thousand things in a way to find answers. You just wish things could go back to normal, don't we all? That you could leave behind the world of doctors and appointments for good. Or just so tired. Mom drops you off at school to turn in your doctor's note. It feels like years since you've been here. You wish you were back for good. After dropping off the doctor's note in the front office, you head to the hallway to see if you find any of your friends. Lo and behold, Sadie is standing there at her locker, loading books into her bag. I don't think I should tackle her. I don't think I even have the energy to do that. Casually say hi. Walk up to the locker, trying to not shock her too much. Put on a soft smile. Hi. Sadie turns and breaks into a smile too. Hey stranger, been a minute, hasn't it? She slings her backpack over her shoulder and pulls you into a hug. I was worried you were never gonna come back and would just fade into the background, never to be seen again. Which made me wonder what would happen to your locker. Would they auction it off in in Storage Wars, or does it go to the next of kin? I think it goes in the next of kin, but Storage Wars kind of image looks nice. Okay, I have some bubble gum. So one piece of bubble gum, two pieces of bubble gum. Who has more? Oh, a candy bar. Going once, going twice. Two candy bars. Oh, sometimes you just need to make the most of bad situations. You laugh at her bemused face. Man, she hasn't changed at all. Good. It all goes to my parents. Duh. Although you could probably steal some stuff before they got to it. I know how much you want my watercolor pencils. I would never, unless you're offering, in which case I would definitely take those off your hand. You both burst into giggles. So now that you're back, we have some catching up to do. You have to hear the hot gossip that Mackenzie is dishing. Your smile falls. Actually, I'm only stopping by today. I got a doctor's note to excuse how much school I've been missing. Patty deflates. Oh, I just thought, no, it's fine. You take all the time you need, but what is it? Haven't actually told me what you have. Is it contagious? Is that why you're spending so much time away from school? You don't really want to explain everything to yet another person, but Sadie is your friend. She means well. You launch into a summary of your life since the beginning of fall, the sleeping, the doctor, the pills, the endless number of tests, how discouraging it all is, and how you wish you just had an answer. She nods along without saying anything. Actually, I have an appointment with a doctor that specializes in hormones. They might think of something that will help. Might? Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm just skeptical that anything will help. Maybe it's your diet? When you don't eat enough, you feel tired. Not really. Or maybe you aren't exercising enough. My mom says young people like us need to run around and tire ourselves out in order to get a good night's rest. Well, drinking water can help your body wake up and be ready for the day. I read that in the self help guide. All of these things you're probably gonna hear from friends and family when they're trying to help you out. And it's nice that they have good intentions, but sometimes hearing the same things over and over and over again just gets tiring and just upsets you more than anything. Because you know it's not gonna help, yet you still have to listen to them. You know that you're not gonna do it, because you already know that it won't help. You did it before, but still. Or you're already doing the things that they're recommending you to do. And I don't know. For example, I always have a bottle of water next to me at all times. I mean, not that I go anywhere, but I always have a water bottle next to me because I want to keep myself hydrated. In terms of exercise and regular meals, I can't say that I'm doing that, but I know I should. I know I should. And probably that would help me a lot in the long run. But honestly, I don't have the strength for it. Even as I'm doing this video, my back is hurting badly, and I just want to go back to bed and rest. That's all that is on my mind right now. But I do know, actually, not that's not all that I have on my mind. That's all that I want to do. But I do know that I have other things to do today before I can do that. I need to finish this game, I need to edit the video, and I need to upload it. Maybe not today, but I need to work on that. Because if I don't do that, then what am I doing? I need to do something with my life. And I've ingrained in my head that I want to be a YouTuber and a streamer. That takes off or not is yet to be seen. But that's the only thing that I have in my mind, so I better strive for it. Let's keep going. You read self-help guides? No, or at least I didn't used to. After you stopped coming to school, I wanted help, so I read up on some stuff. I got a book from the library called 1001 Diseases You Could Have and Not Know. Again, this is something very bad. This you should not do this. I have a friend of mine who basically is also in a similar situation to mine, and they suffer from anxiety. It's more severe than mine, to be honest. And one thing that they decided to do was after they had one uh, a panic attack, they decided to see what could possibly, I don't know if it was the panic attack or something else, but they decided to see what it could cause, what could be the cause of it, and they ended up looking at something that said that they might have uh what was it? It was bone cancer or something like that. And I had to tell him, like, you shouldn't look at that stuff because you're just going to, it's just going to make situations worse. It's just going to make you more anxious, and it's not going to be the real reason why you're like that. It's just going to basically make you more paranoid and cause whatever you have to be even worse or make you skeptical. And each time you have just the slightest hint of something, you will go ahead and think it's something way, way worse. For example, if you have just, in this case, if you have just a simple cold, everybody will think, oh, it's COVID. So you have to get tested. But it could be just a simple cold. Could be something normal. But some people would start overreacting. So just keep calm, try and see with a specialist instead of using self-help books and things of that nature. It can help a bit, but don't solely rely on them. Like, people shouldn't solely rely on this game. It said so in the intro screen. It's not a self-help, uh, not a self-help gateway, or not gateway. It's not a self-help substitute. But yeah, she pulls out the textbook from her bag, a backpack, and shoves it in your hands. It's pretty hefty to be carrying around, just in case you saw each other. You can tell she put in a lot of effort for you, but isn't really what you want to hear after the onslaught of doctors you just visited. Sadie shuffles her weight back and forth. She obviously wants to say something, but it's clearly uncomfortable. Actually, have you heard of psychosomatic symptoms? Your heart dropped. Yes, you have. It's basically when you think you're sick, but you actually it's all in your head. And I do need to do a little bit of research later if psychosomatics is related to the placebo effect, or if it's related, or if it's actually the same thing. I don't know. And excuse me, I'm not saying that you have, but you've been to all of those doctors and they don't know what's wrong. Doctors are smart, they should know things. Right, they should. What if you aren't actually sick? Then you just need to think positive until you get better and things go back to normal. AKA, why are you depressed? Just be happy. I heard that talk also. You stare at Sadie, almost in shock. Think positive? Are you serious? What? Do you think I'm making this up? Do you not believe me too? I do, but I don't know. I just don't see how you can say you are so sick yet you stand here and. What? Look like you're. Look like you're fine. The words hang in the air for a moment. Tears string from your eyes. Stare down for a few seconds before you turn around, walk down the hallway, and exit the school. I seemed fine. How could she say that after I spilled my heart out to her and let her know what I've been going through? How could she still think that everything is fine? Several days later, some people are gonna be skeptical. You're at another doctor's appointment, Mom. Visiting school took a lot of energy out of you, and this isn't helping. You feel miserable. You've been sitting at in this room for a couple of minutes, but honestly, all of these offices are starting to blend in together. I mean, yes, they are. It's the same background, so. Lady, is an endocrinologist, a hormone doctor. Dr. Jones gave you a referral after your blood results were negative for Lyme disease. Surprise, surprise. Why did I thought that my head? I know what Lyme disease. I know the word Lyme disease. I know Lyme disease, and I was convinced that it was not Lyme disease and it was Lynn's disease or something like that. I don't know why. The doctor enters the room with a flourish, her red cowboy boots flashing and her dress twirling. You look at her in awe. She sits down and faces you and your mom, smiling brightly. She extends her hand out to you. Hello, my name is Julie. What can I call you? You shake her hand, a bit taken aback by her friendliness. I'm Ray. I'm sick, but I'm not happy about it, so that's why I'm here. Dr. Julie laughs heartily. Can't help but smile too. Well, your funny bone certainly ain't damaged. Let's start at the beginning and try to get a grasp on what's going on. Well, we believe it started at the beginning of this year with, actually, Mom, could I hit this part from Ray? Might help me understand a bit better. This doctor is already going a lot better because they should go and talk to the patient first and see what the patient has to say because a lot of things are, I wouldn't say hidden, but it's something that only the patient can say because they are experiencing it. And that's one of the things that my therapist also did. When it was consultation time, it was just me and the therapist. And she sometimes would ask if I would like my mom to join in on the therapy session because it's supposed to be about the person that's being treated. So they should take priority. Even if your biggest supporter, you're the person that is going through thick and thin to help you, they are still in the supporting role. They are there for you when you need them. So you should be the first person to actually explain things. So this doctor is already doing things a lot better. Look at her for a second before launching into your own story, eager for her advice and opinions. She looks at you, really looks at you, like you're a person, and not just some test subject. She listens to your story earnestly. When she has ideas and questions, she doesn't overstep her boundaries. Feels like you're involved in the process, like you have a seat at the table. That is exactly what people need to have. Because most situations, you're just along for the ride. But when it's something like this, when it's something that is not tangible, you need to be as involved in the process as your doctor is. It's a back and forth of ideas and process and solutions, remedies. Okay, I don't want us to get ahead of ourselves, but I have an idea. I have your blood test from Dr. Jones, and they show high levels of a hormone called cortisol. You know what that is? Not yes, you've heard it before. Julie continues to explain how some of your symptoms and aspects of your story are typical of a certain illness, one that seems very familiar. These symptoms line up perfectly with what we call Cushing's syndrome. I've heard of that one. Based on your blood test, I believe that you may have brin, uh, an adrenal tumor on a pituitary gland that is affecting your hormones. A tumor? Dr. Julie smiles and places a comforting hand on your shoulder. I understand that this seems pretty scary, but the MRI will. No, it's not that. Really wasn't. Couldn't really describe it, but you were almost happy. Because at the end of the day, you finally feel like you got a breakthrough. Like you finally found, after all those dead ends, when you find something that is not a dead end, you feel relieved. You feel like you have somewhere to go from there. And this is exactly what Ray is experiencing right now. Cushioning syndrome, is it treatable? Well, we should confirm that it is what you actually have first, but with treatment, it has been found to be completely reversible. Turn to Mom, who is smiling softly at your side. You hug her and hold her close as as tears threaten to fall from your eyes. Thank you. Now I'm the one almost getting teared up. Dr. Julie walks you and your mom as you head to the MRI. Hopefully, this will be the last one of these exploratory tests. Several days later, the sun is going down as you open your eyes for the first time today. It's almost peaceful outside your window as you lie in bed. There's a soft knock at the door and Mom opens it slowly. Sweetie? You sit up out of bed. Her voice is too soft. She strokes your hair and sighs. Dr. Julie's office just called with some news about the MRI. Oh, I know we're both really wanted Dr. Julie to be right. No, I'm sorry, but the scans came back negative for a tumor of any sorts. Feel numb, like the world just dropped out under you and you're floating. You know you're supposed to feel happy. You know you're supposed to feel relief, but in your mind, this was your solution. This was your answer. This was gonna be the end of seeing all those doctors and getting all those tests done. The end of being poked and prodded, of being treated like a science experiment, of a less than human. But after everything, after all the hopes that you got from Dr. Julie, it's just another dead end. This isn't fair. This isn't how it's supposed to be. I'm a teenager. I should be enjoying my life, going to school and getting in trouble for coming home late. That's what everyone else gets to do. That's what they do on TV. Why can't this just end? Mom leans in to comfort you, but you don't respond. Instead, you stare straight ahead. Tears streaming down your face. She gives you some space. Sweetheart, just don't, okay? I hate this. I hate all of this. I just want to go back to school and see my friends. I just want to be a normal kid. I just want all of this to be over. Mom reaches out in comfort. Please, I want to be alone. She nods in understanding and rises. But before she leaves, she turns back. We're going to have to stop going to doctors for a little while. We don't have enough money to see anyone else. But I promise we're going to figure out what this is. He shuts the door behind her, and you curl into a ball underneath your blankets, letting your sob overtake your body. Cry until you are absolutely exhausted and you can't even move. After all those news, there's nothing else but sleep. And now we're back. Now we're on chapter 3. You wake up in your bedroom, just another Monday. I go back to sleep. Just as quickly as your eyes open, they're closed again. You fall back to sleep. You wake up again. It's still Monday. Go back to sleep. You aren't ready to get up yet. You fall back to sleep. You wake up again. Still Monday. You think. Gonna try and get up. I know it's not gonna do anything. You fall back asleep. Ray, get up. We are not going to be late today. Grumble as you get out of bed and change into some clothes. Mom hauls you into the car and takes you to school. It's fall semester again. It's been 1 year since this all began, and despite being back to school semi-irregularly, you still feel like you're always missing class, catch up on sleep. Not to mention you're still tired all the time. I feel you on that one. You fall asleep in a couple of classes, but you end up making it through the entire day of school. Despite taking several naps, you're still exhausted. I just go straight home. Your phone vibrates in your pocket. It's a text from mom. She's out front to pick you up from for another doctor's appointment. Right. Your first appointment in a while, actually. Got a strong recommendation from one of your previous doctors. Maybe this time it will be worth the cost. You grab your backpack and head down the main office. At this point, I'm not even reading the lines correctly. I'm just reading as I think it is. By the end of the last year, your family was too broke to see any more doctors, and that's not even considering the emotional cost of it all. But after a summer of no doctor visits, your family saved up enough money and paid enough bills to start looking for solutions again. The comes in. Her coat reads Dr. Shipley. Funny, that sounds like a sci-fi captain's name. Mom launches in a explanation. Dr. Shipley, like all the rest of the doctors, listens to the spiel. She, like all the rest of the doctors, nods her head. Sounds like you'll be sounds like you'll benefit from a sleep study, although it could be something else. I'll get you scheduled for one. You sigh heavily but make an appointment nonetheless. Schedule it to the next week. In the sleep lab at the hospital. At least this test will be harder to fail given how great I am at falling asleep. Honestly, I've also considered doing a sleep schedule or sleep study. 1 week later, Mom drags you to its sleep center for your sleep study. You've never stayed overnight at a hospital before, but this place is different than you expected. Kind of cozy with a lot of closed off rooms. After getting checked in, you're shown to your room. The sleep tech attaches what seems to be electrodes to your head, chest, and legs. He also puts two elastic bands around your chest to monitor your breathing. Mom looks down at you. You look like a robot. You snicker. She kisses you on the forehead. I'll be back in the morning. Just sleep tight. You crawl under the covers. The lights are off, and the sleep tech talks to you over the intercom. He asks you to close your eyes, look up, look down, look side to side, check to see if the monitoring equipment is working properly. Okay, you're all set. Shout if you need anything. Fit into sleep. Despite having numerous cords attached to you, you sleep fine. Once you wake up, the sleep tech helps you take some of the electrodes off, but not all of them. It's time for the nap tests. We'll have to try and fall asleep for 30 minutes every few hours. Once the nap tests are done, you'll be free to go. You do the first two nap tests and fall asleep easily. Seems like you're passing. I could hear your stomach rumbling from the other room. How about I order some food from from the hospital's cafeteria? You nod. That sounds pretty good. Mac and cheese, a sandwich, or soup? Mac and cheese, please. Your food arrives at the lab and you take a break to chow down. Not the finest meal I've had. I wish Mom had packed me something. Time to get back to naps. This actually isn't as bad as you thought it would be. You finish up the rest of the nap tests. Finally, it's time to go home. The sleep tech takes the rest of the electrodes off of your head and releases you from the elastic bands. Mom has been waiting for you outside. She gives you a hug. How did it go? Did you sleep okay? Tell her about the food, tell her about the nap tests, nap tests. I got to sleep most of the day, but I didn't feel like I was missing out on life. It wasn't too bad. I'm glad. It reminded me when you used to sleep over with Sadie in middle school. Although I'm not sure how much sleeping got done there. You smile a bit. Those were fun times. The two of you head out the door and home without another word about the study. Several weeks later, you finally get a letter in the mail and a phone call from the sleep doctor. Mom talked to her on the phone for a while, but you've come to see her in person. No doubt we're just waiting to get informed about the yet another dead end. So we got your results back from this sleep study. I understand that you've been looking for answers for quite some time, yes? You give her a weak nod. Her hand she hands you a packet of papers. Has some charts with numbers you don't understand. Well, after reviewing the test results, I feel confident that your symptoms are tied to a condition that you may have heard before. It seems you have na- narcolepsy. Look up at her and stare in disbelief. Wait, been so long since all of this madness began. This it? Are you here? Are you finally do you finally have your answer? But narcolepsy isn't right. I've seen on TV that people just fall over all the time, usually for comedic effect. A few years ago, somebody dressed up in a narcolepsy man for Halloween, and it was pretty funny to see him just kneel over and snore. That's not what I have. Narcolepsy affects the brain activity to regulate sleeping and waking cycles, which is categorized by excessive sleepiness during the day and falling asleep for short spurts at a time. Sorry for being quiet, but this is hitting close to home. Okay, you know what? When this whole pandemic thing kind of eases out, I'll need to get some sleep studies done. But yeah, let's go. Sleep doesn't really do the job that it should be doing, so you wake up less rested than you should. You nod. What she is saying is actually making a lot of sense. Also, your story lines up with many that we get here at the sleep center. Most patients present symptoms between the age of 10 and 20 and often visit many physicians before receiving a diagnosis. If they ever do at if even if they ever do at all. With proper resources management and follow-ups, it is absolutely possible to live a full life with this condition. Tears come to your eyes and you feel lighter almost. Thing is, you've been living with this silent monster. It finally has a name. Instead of shrugging when people ask you what's wrong, you finally have a real answer. Mom gives you a hug. She's crying too. You thank the doctor and schedule another appointment for more in depth sessions later on. You and Mom are quiet in the car ride home. Her entire demeanor has relaxed and you can see your relief. It's been a long couple of years for both of you. Still, after the initial happiness of the diagnosis, a somber feeling has settled within you. Haven't said much since leaving the office. What's up? Why would I lie? He's been with me all this time. Be honest. I feel like I'm supposed to be happy about this, but I'm just not. Mom looks over you, edging you to say more. I don't know. I thought having a diagnosis would help, and it does help a little bit, but now we have to deal with the aftermath. You sigh heavily. Choose your words carefully, really. Speak what's on your mind. I have to deal with this. You just oh no. Ray. I didn't thought that you I have to deal with this. You've just been along for the ride. Mom looks taken aback by this response but doesn't say anything. Alright, I know these past months have been hard on you, but I really am trying my best. It hasn't been easy on me either. I'm not gonna be harsh. She's been by your side. You bit your tongue and let her speak. It's been heart-wrenching watching you change from the happy and boisterous girl you were to the worn-down person you are now. What these past few months have done to you. No young person should have gone through that, but that's not that's no excuse for us to stop trying. God damn it, you're gonna make me cry too. No. Tears threaten to spill from your eyes and your hands shake. I'm not stupid, Mom. I know that what managing a disease means. It means not curable. I'm gonna have to live like this forever. If there isn't any hope of getting better, why should I try at all? Mom pulls the car over to the side of the road, turning off the car so that she can look at you head on. Ray Kim, what problems do you see in the world? What? Come on, it's not that hard of a question, is it? Name a problem that you can see. Kind of a vague question, but you ponder it nonetheless. There's inequality, of course, in wars overseas, but there's also the corner store stopped stocking strawberry milk over the summer, which was a real bummer. And there's everything you and Mom saw, the doctors that didn't take you seriously, a lack of understanding from people about what you were experiencing. It hurts your heart to think of those things. Empathy. People don't relate things they don't understand. Okay, who is going to solve that problem? Again, you are lost for words. Because the way I see it, if you see a problem and no one is there to fix it, isn't it on you to take the first step? You stop and think about that for a second. Did you get that off of a Facebook post? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Ray, I'm being serious. You need to have a goal to work towards in order to keep going. Having a positive look on things is easy when life is going well, but sometimes life just sucks. When situations are out of your control, you can either wallow in your own thoughts or you can control what you can, your outlook. But if you give up, there is no way for them to ever get any better. I don't want to lose my daughter to some condition she may have. I want you to find a way to be happy despite it. That's all I ever wanted for you. Can't help it anymore and spring towards to hug your mom. You cry into her shoulder as she pats your back. She pats your head. You both sit there for a bit until you calm back down. Your father and I are here for you, and we always will be. You just can't give up hope on living a good life. You nod in her arms. You understand what needs to be done now. I'm feeling I'm feeling like this is drawing to a conclusion. It's Tuesday. Sadie is down the hallway walking towards you, but she hasn't looked up from her phone yet. It's now or never. Sadie! She looks up and sees you smiling. She can't help but smile back. Ray, long time no see. Are you visiting again? No, I'm actually back. For real this time. You're all better now? Your smile falters just for a moment. No, I got a real diagnosis though. I think this one is legit too. You both stand there looking at each other. It's been months since everything went down between the two of you, and you aren't quite sure what to say to this point. Look, I'm sorry I've been kind of distant. Everything just kept piling up, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But you actually tried to reach out when no one else seemed to care. I should have been a better friend to you. You shift your weight and take a deep breath. I was wondering, do you want to come over and ride with me after school today? Um, Betty smiles, but there's something behind her eye that upsets you. Pretty obvious how much your fight hurt her. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Sure, I would love to come over. What are you working on these days? He laughed nervously, silently breathing a sigh of relief. I actually haven't touched my story since last year, so there's that. Gosh, that seemed like a lifetime ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. I've been writing a lot since you've been gone. This summer I finished my first draft of that novel I've been working on. Sadie, that's amazing! Sadie's bright face shines back at you. Thanks. You know, I actually am in need of a proofreader. Members of the writing club are not the best help when it comes to sentence structure. That's expected when your club is 90% freshmen. Well, wait, writing club? Yeah, I kinda started it last year after winter break. We only have a couple of members, but there's this one girl, Elisa, or is it pronounced Elisa? Elisa. I think you would really like her. You giggle at Sadie's silliness, but it's obvious she's proud of the club. You never would have guessed that she would start one on her own. Then again, it has been a whole year since you really hung out together. Maybe you weren't the only one to change. Well, if you happen to be accepting new members, are you kidding? Of course you can join. But I have to warn you, it does conflict with drama club. That's alright, I always did like watching theater more than doing it. The two of you laugh and chat all the way to her house. Turns out there's a lot of catching up on. Epilogue. You girls have a good time and stay safe. Remember, if anyone makes you uncomfortable, you have my permission to punch them in the face. That's a good mom there. Thanks, mom. And if anyone touches you, thanks, mom. Okay, have fun. I packed you both green bean casserole in case you get hungry. Really? You made green bean casserole again? It went over so well at the potluck. How could I not? I'll be back to pick you up at 4. You and Sadie wave goodbye to Mom as she drives off. It's been a few months since you and Sadie reconnected, and the two of you have settled into a comfortable friendship once again. It's a little different from before, but just as loving. Sadie was the one to bring up going to the anime convention that's held downtown every year. You never had the guts to go before, but after everything that's happened over the past few years, you decided it was time to step out of your comfort zone. Alright, the Super Space Sailor voice actors have a panel at 2:15. Until then, we can take a look at the show floor. Aye aye, Captain Itami. Where did I get Itamari? Itami. I'll set a course. Thank you, Miss Starling. You and Sadie set off through the aisle of the show floor. Vendors crowd the exhibition hall with all sorts of merchandise. Plushies, clothes, art books, you name it. Plus there are cosplayers everywhere. Whoa, what are all these people crowding around over there? I think that's the artist who drew dark and gritty takes on things that definitely don't need to be dark and gritty. That seems interesting. Sure, but you can only see so many teddy bear homicide detectives before it gets old. I'll take your word for that one, Sades. Okay, so yeah, so it wasn't a gaff before. It's just her way of saying Sadie as more of a friendship tone. You and Sadie laugh, pointing He didn't hear you criticize his work. So how goes the new medication? Eh, it seems like it may be working, but it's too early to say for sure. Just glad this one doesn't make me so jittery. Sadie nods along. You remember talking her ear off nonstop when you tried the last medication. It was supposed to keep you awake during the day, but instead it made your heart race and your whole body felt twitchy. Medication management has been its own journey as well. You've lost count of the number of meds you've tried. As of yet, you have not found a perfect balance between treatments and side effects. Hey, want to take a tour down an Artist Alley? The two of you take a hard left and head towards the path with posters and that line the way. Prints that line the way. An interesting piece of art catches your eye, hanging off the wall of one of the booths. Hey Sadie, wait up a sec. You talk to the artist and she pulls a poster down from the wall. Sadie gives you a bit of a side-eye glance. You hold the piece in your hands. The picture of a cello, but the background is made of playbills from various musicals. It seems like it was made for you. Wow, seems abstract, although the use of colors is très magnifique. You smile at her lame attempt at being bilingual. I like it, definitely worth the price tag. You hold the picture up to the light. This is going right up on your wall when you get home. Having to quit orchestra and drama club has been tough. You don't see your friends nearly as much anymore, but focusing on schoolwork has paid off pretty well. It took some time to get the swing of things, but you're going to pass all of your classes this year. Your homeroom teacher even told you how impressed she was. You gently place the picture in your bag and continue with Sadie. I was meaning to ask you, Elisa and I are gonna stop by the new boba place down the street tonight. You wanna come? I would, but I have a doctor appointment today. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Oh, well, we can postpone it if you want. Oh no, you guys go have fun, but let me know what flavors they have. We can go there some other time. Sadie smiles at you and nods. Lately, you had to pick and choose whether and where to spend your energy. It's just another part of your life that you've had to adjust to. Hey, let's take a picture. Right now? No time like the present. You pull out your phone and open the front-facing camera. You and Sadie squeeze together and put on your biggest smiles. Smile! The camera shutter freezing the camera shutters, freezing the moment in time. Despite everything, life has found a new version of normal for you. You'll look back at this moment when you need to remember how much love and support you have in your life, and you'll keep on smiling. And here we go. The credits sequence for But You Look Fine. Honestly, not gonna lie, it really resonated with me. And there were a couple of times that was on verge of crying because of the struggles and the both the struggles that the character had to endure and the fact that it hit way too close to home. So With that in mind, I hope you enjoy the video. As always, I'm gonna leave the link below for the HEO page of this game because I want all of you to try and experience this for yourselves. Since there's 5 endings, and I want you to see if you can find all the other ones. I think I've been running my mouth enough as it is, and I think I also need to get some food into my system. So I'll see you next time. Take care, and goodbye.